All right, what is going on, everyone? AP over here, Rumpier Sports. I'm here with my guy Kurt. It's Sunday night after how would we describe today? Like it was a rough day. It was a rough day of football. A lot of injuries, a lot of tilt, running backs absolutely smashed. I mean, Kurt, how are you doing, man?
Terrible. I mean, Chuba Purdy getting his completely salvaged day, and then all my good lineups didn't have Hunt. I didn't mind Hunt. I was actually overweight, but he didn't hit any of the good teams, so him going off didn't help. All the injuries and stuff. Tank Dell, Zero Burger. I mean, the Texans' offense not being able to generate anything in the passing game. All the running backs in the slate going absolutely nuclear. And I got way too cute at running back, but
you want to know? So, like, I can sit here and pretend and like feel like I'm one of the guys or girls that got screwed by injuries and the craziness of today's slate. But that was not the case for me, Kurt. It was Anthony Richardson, a guy that I made a big stand on. And I mean, he did not have to do much today to be relevant on this slate. I thought we'd see more rushing upside. I thought there would be a little bit more offense in that game. We saw the total trend upwards. Sometimes we get those crazy environments, but so that
I don't blame you for that game.
My day.
I was a little bit bullish on that game as far as like, I know it's very risky, but there's explosive players in that game for really cheap. And so I kind of went with you about as far as that game goes, but wow, we got a 10-13 game. That was horrendous.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the best things is tonight we get the Jets again. It seems like they're constantly on these primetime slates, and we get the Steelers. Oh, man. But there's money to be made. There's a big prize pool, a big prize at the top on both DraftKings, FanDuel. We're going to dial it in. I got SaberSim up. I always run through. I'm going to treat this kind of similar to what Rubio and I do with the SaberSim show that we have on Mondays and Thursdays. We got SaberSim up, our lineup builder show. I ran a base build here, Kurt. I know you're familiar with the base build. You've done a few of those shows with me. We take average projections, we run it, and we sort it by highest projected score, bringing up those optimal lineups, basically to give us an idea of what the lineups look like. And like right out of the gate, like look how crazy this one is. A 5-1 Steelers. Just when you think of the new makeup of this Jets team, and when you look at their roster, top to bottom, easily a top 5 roster, like on paper, right? I mean, when you look at the names, the name value, I mean, where do you rank the Jets right now? I know the record isn't indicative of that, but God, they're loaded with talent.
On paper, it looks really nice, but
oh my gosh, I mean, Butthole Jenkins, what are we talking about? Chiefs are 6-0.
That's fun.
I mean, we're getting points today, and I can't go down that. I can't go down that road.
You couldn't expect Ayuk to like shatter his knee or Debo to get the.
I know.
I mean,
am I wearing a Chargers hat? No. Does this look like a Chargers hat?
Let's see what we got here. As far as the O-line D-line matchup. Sorry.
All right. So this is like the best, and I'll absolutely love this because.
They are. I mean,
if your expectation is like a flashy, high-scoring team, I mean, what matters is wins and losses. Like they can look terrible, but what have they done? And who have they played? They played the Ravens, 49ers. I mean, they beat everyone. So I know it's not the old Chiefs, 2-3 years ago. It's last year with more rapport and a very, very good defense. So. It's not fun. It's not exciting, and we don't need them on primetime slates. I'll tell you that. I want more Green Bay. I want more Texans. I want those teams on the primetime slates. I don't want Chiefs on primetime. Mm-hmm. I don't want the Jets and Steelers on primetime, Kurt. All right, let's get into this, though. The base build, I think, is kind of interesting. A lot to break down with tonight's game. Jaylen Warren's back. We're back to that time split. It was pretty similar last game to what we typically see. 40% Jaylen, 46% Najee. So you got to assume that his role is going to be fairly normal. But, Kurt, this is the base build. This is just standard projections, running the optimizer, sorted by highest projected score. Our captains, Jaylen, Brees, Garrett Wilson, Najee, Pickens. you got any takeaways? I don't want to spend a lot of time on the base build. I want to get into the plays, and honestly, I still have to get my lineups in. So we'll do that live on the show, and you can ride or die with me tonight.
The original takeaway is, I guess maybe it's a matchup thing, but Devontae Adams, I just want to jam him more than what
doesn't everyone though. Like I feel like everyone's going to want to. Like I want all the Garrett Wilsons.
I don't care.
We'll get into that, obviously.
I agree. I just don't think I care. Like this is what Adams has been waiting for the past 2 years. It's felt like it's a bad matchup to start out. So if you do want to get cute and then hey, everyone else is doing it, it's a bad matchup. I completely understand. I'll tell you what, AP, I'm not going to be the one that's pissed off that Adams had the touchdown in the first quarter. I know that. I'd much rather go to sleep being just slightly mad that, oh, okay, well, I faded. I played Adams. He's not doing that great. Much rather have that than be pissed off that he has first drive touchdown. I'll live with that.
The other thing, too, that I think is really interesting, you see a lot of scrubs down here. Braylon Allen's not a scrub, but we saw a massive roll from Breece Hall last week where that definitely got me. I thought we were going to see more of a time split there, but I was way wrong. And there's a lot of these like little cheap scrubs that I definitely want to be underweight on in the build that we run. And let me just show one other thing real quick. So pass optimal sheet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Why?
All right. StreamYard is like tweaking out. It said I lost audio.
Wow.
I've never seen that before. It was like Kurt. It was like a red thing that popped up.
So
and it's like
I know
you lost audio.
So Butthole makes a good point, but I want the Amari Cooper thing. Did you all see the video that Emmanuel Ocho put out about the touchdown route? Amari Cooper had no idea what route to run, so he looked at Coleman, and Coleman just told him run a seam, and he ran the seam and caught a touchdown on it. Anyone see that? He had no idea what route to run, and then Coleman was like, "Oh, it was cool." Go watch it on Twitter. Emmanuel Ocho tweeted it.
No, I'm going to go watch that on NFL Pro. NFL Pro is my new thing. Absolutely awesome. So we got the pass Showdown optimal lineups up from Jets Steelers for just this season only. And it is funny. I think if you're the Jets, you're really excited about the change in quarterback to Russell Wilson over Justin Fields. I just think scheme-wise, it's a little bit easier. I mean, just look at what Justin Fields brings. And again, definitely not perfect, but can run the ball. And it's really telling in these Showdown lineups how often he is optimal in these lineups. You can just see it right here, twice in the captain, almost every single time in the flex. And outside of that, you see a lot of kickers, a lot of defenses, and a lot of salary left on the table. And then up here on the Jets side, Garrett Wilson. He's been dominating the last 2 games. And we've obviously seen these games kind of play out to where the Jets are forced to throw the ball. I know they want to run, but situations have panned out that's really required them to force the ball down, throw the ball down the field. So I think it's going to be a little bit different. I think we're going to see more rushing tonight. But I just wanted to highlight the pass optimals just to show that I think things are going to be different. No Justin Fields, obviously, and that's going to be a curveball, especially when it comes to projecting Russell Wilson. So let's get into this. Kurt, how I'm going to do this, we're going to walk through position by position. I'm going to highlight the flex, and we're going to talk through all of these plays. You can give me – these are my numbers in here. I can walk through kind of my thinking behind them, and then we can dial in my lineups. Let's start with the quarterback, though. Let's do this. So Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, obviously. Justin Fields is projected. Like maybe if Russell Wilson just is terrible, we see Justin Fields come in. That could happen. The way today's gone, that could definitely happen.
Might be returning kicks. Maybe he's returning kicks like he was during camp.
I'm under projecting Russell Wilson. I do not want him in the flex if he lands in, or I do not want him in the captain spot. If he lands in the flex, I'm fine with it, but I'm not super bullish on him. And the thing about Rodgers is I'm definitely fine with it, but like more weapons now. But what's your take on the quarterback spot tonight between these two players?
I don't think this Steelers system and this his Arthur Smith offense is great for fantasy quarterbacks. So
hold on, real quick,
guy who can't run.
Jimmy B, my apologies. I will take the blame on this one. I'm taking over for Rubio, and I don't know where he finds that. I don't know where he finds that specific stat. So tomorrow we have two slates. I'll get it figured out. I'll shoot him a text, and we'll get that figured out. But I don't know where he finds that specific stat that he was looking at or referencing.
Wait, does Wiley have a burner on here? Who's TJ from
Why?
Slack? Who is this?
And this is Wiley.
I'm so confused. Oh, anyways, I need Wiley's skin routine separate. I don't understand how I can't play Wilson. I need someone who, if he beats me tonight, I'm okay with it. Like sometimes I'm just okay with like letting certain things beat me. And Russell, like I said, this offense is not equipped to produce good fantasy quarterbacks. Justin Fields is able to do that because he can run. Now we're putting Russell Wilson in the fold. There's so many factors why I don't want to play Wilson. I'm 100% on board with underprotecting the living shit out of him. Another reason is, what if he comes out here and looks like trash? Like there's at least a 10% chance he can get pulled here. I still don't understand why they made the decision. There's a 5-to-1 touchdown interception ratio for Fields. He has another different element.
I'm such a donkey. I thought I was sharing this tab again. I'm not. Oh, it's Sunday. All right, there we go. Now people can see. Probably like, what's he talking about?
And then I think the no quarterback builds are obviously very live here. But if I'm playing one, it's Rodgers and it's the Adams connection. I mean, Rodgers has legit weapons. Like Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams with Lazard, and Breece Hall. Even the old man maybe could put up a big old fantasy score here against a tough defense.
So one thing too, and this will be a good transition. So I agree with you. My preference always, especially I'm running 20 lineups today. I put them in the flagship, and then I dupe them in the 20 max. I kind of range between 20 and 35 depending on how I'm feeling. Today was, got the teeth kicked in. So I'm not trying to like double down and double get my teeth kicked in, especially with a slate like tonight. But I am focused on the 20 lineups that I'm deploying tonight. I'm a little concerned with my Aaron Rodgers in the flex ownership. I don't necessarily I want a skill position player in the captain spot. But I do see reasons why Aaron Rodgers could get there. He just has so many weapons at his disposal. I just don't see this crazy scoring environment to where it's going to happen. So we'll adjust that as we go on. Let's go to the running backs, which I think is the most.
This game's gonna. I don't see any scenario ever where this game can shoot out.
So I think my take on running backs in this game specifically is we're all focused on the receivers. Obviously, Devontae Adams newly acquired, and you obviously already have one of the best receivers in the game in Garrett Wilson. And so that's going to be an interesting dynamic that we break down. But you still got Breece Hall. And I think something that goes a little overlooked maybe is both teams have been pretty good or very good against the run, but we've had some running backs put up big games against the Steelers. So the stat, I forget what I believe they're like on paper, like a top 5 or top 7 rush defense, but you've still seen individual pretty solid performances against Pittsburgh, and we know the Jets want to run the football. So I want to be bullish on Breece Hall. Braylon Allen, I'm probably still a little bit too bullish on, but I still think that he's really good. And I don't want to have a full-on knee-jerk reaction, especially with how today's gone. I mean, like Kurt, what would be the most tilting thing tonight? Like Braylon Allen runs in, like scores a touchdown, like first touchdown of the game or something like that. I mean, isn't that like how today is going to go?
I don't think that'd be tilting. I don't like him or Warren running in. I don't think that'd be tilting because I want to use him as salary relief. Honestly, the most tilting thing would be like Russell Wilson running one in. That's by far the most tilting thing. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, running back wise. I mean, running backs dominated today.
Najee,
absolutely dominated.
I'm okay. I'll use a salary relief for Warren and Braylon Allen. The most annoying thing would be Harris or Russell Wilson running it in.
I don't know. I still like these running backs. And who was it? So last week, both running backs did quite well with the Bills, but we do got to remember Ray Davis caught that absolute bomb. What was it? 50-yard bomb from Josh Allen. So we can't really account for that. But Jaylen Warren, I have as graded out as probably my favorite or top value play tonight. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to put him in the flex because what happens when you get a cheap player like Jaylen Warren that projects very well relative to his price in that captain spot. you get a lot of similar builds. It's very easy to land on that build, and you'll see you'll see a massive chop up top. So I don't know if I want him in the captain spot is what I meant to say. I do want a lot of him in the flex. Anything else here on the running backs?
Travis makes a good point. I mean, Jets really don't have an offensive line. I'll still play Breece Hall and not care whatsoever because he can do it in so many ways. And he's an awesome receiver. But yeah, I'm glad that he brought that up. Like everyone needs to know that the Jets offense is going to be like a kryptonite, like amazing now, especially in a bad matchup. Because I mean,
every running back scored like 3 touchdowns today and ran for over 100 yards.
Yeah, which means the running backs today are going to suck, right? That's how it works
tonight.
Yeah.
No, I think we're all going to talk ourselves onto the receivers because of the Devontae Adams situation. And I don't know, but I just think
just play Breece Hall. Like, why do we have to deal with any other running backs besides like Warren for value and Braylon Allen for value? Why do we got to deal with Najee Harris? Okay, why? Why are we playing Najee Harris? Like,
because like I think we all think that the Jets are going to win easily. At least I do, and I thought that they should have won easily last week against the Bills, and that just wasn't the case. And the Steelers are tough. They're a well-coached team. Obviously, they find gritty ways to win. And what's the most gritty way to win? It would be ramming Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren at the Jets. So I mean, I don't want to fully fade them.
I mean, I don't think not fully, but I would in hand builds. I'm not putting Najee in any. If he falls in the end zone, I still think there's a scenario where he scores and is not optimal.
I got you.
Honest to God.
I don't know. What about captain? Are you? So I wanted. You'll see in my core, obviously on the site, I'm still working my stuff, but Breece Hall was one of my favorite captains tonight. Could change, obviously, but I really liked how those builds looked when I ran my stuff earlier. Are you good with any running back captain, or are you all in on Devontae Adams?
Breece, Devontae. As far as cheap captain goes, I think Pat Freiermuth is definitely fine. As far as if you need to go down there, it's kind of what Travis talks about how he does the mid-tier captains, and it worked last week when they played the Cowboys. The game that started not last week before last, and the game was like 10 o'clock. But I don't mind that if you're going down there. I think he could get peppered with targets. It's a grime, slowy game. He gets like 6 for 40 and a touchdown.
King of Smack. All right, so King of Smack. Let me take a step back real quick.
You got beef?
It's been a long weekend. I've been up like 5:30 every single day. Kids swim meet. You know how long those swim meets are? I mean, it's like 6-7 hours every day, and it starts at 6 a.m.
Go!
Exactly. It is 6:47 Central my time, and I'm here with my guy Kurt, having the time of my life doing a show. I mean, come on, I'm not putting you guys to sleep. Enough with that. I mean, we could definitely just end it and get out of here, but I don't want to do that either.
Whoa.
Probably 49er fan. It's all good.
Someone is a Colts fan. AP, look at his AV. Go Colts.
All right, So sell me on Devontae Adams because So one thing that I thought was incorrect was having Devontae Adams projected higher than Garrett Wilson. I want Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is still the guy there. They've been vocal about that. I think it's a sensitive situation potentially. We all think Adams is going to come in, and he might take over everything. But I mean, I still think we have to project Garrett Wilson higher.
People were comparing, like when we mentioned Amari Cooper, they said that's going to be Devontae Adams today. Like, no, Devontae Adams knows this offense. Like, I don't think.
Dude, you mid sentence muted yourself. I've never seen that before, ever in my life of doing this, and you're still muted.
That's StreamYard. StreamYard just put me on mute in the middle of that. But the Nathaniel Hackett offense, he's really familiar with it. He knows him and Rodgers can get together, and any of the checks that Rodgers has now, I'm sure Adams will already pick up. The dude's very football knowledgeable. I think he'll just step right into it. And the thing about the offensive line being bad, all of Devontae Adams' stuff is really quick, boom, bada bing, get in the ball. It's not really the longer developing things. So, Travis, he just now mentioned earlier about how his little thing skips on StreamYard too, and it showed me here. But that's why I like Adams. I think he doesn't need the long. They can do quick stuff with him, check at the line, all that kind of stuff. A little bit lower on Wilson, but Devontae Adams for me, and I'll just be the chalk donkey. All right, listen, guys, I'm not muting myself. I've had it up to here with you guys. I'm sick of it.
I want to know what the chat's consensus is on Devontae Adams, because I'm not sold. Like I feel like Garrett Wilson should be higher. Well, no, I am sold, but I think everyone's going to want to be on him. And so I think there's going to be a potential kind of leverage opportunity off of Garrett Wilson. And so that's just where I want to make sure I'm more overweight on Wilson than Adams. And it could be like where we just get a bunch of both of them in. I'm under on Pickens right now, which I don't feel good about, but I'm also under on Russell Wilson, you know? And look, like I have a ton of respect for this Jets defense when they're playing very well. They're very, very, very talented. I think they're going to make life very difficult on Russ, which is why I think the Steelers are going to run the ball a lot tonight. And hopefully the Jets offense, like it hasn't been, and this team somehow, despite all the talent that they have, they find ways to lose. It's absolutely mind-blowing. There's a lot of dusty dudes in here I think we could just get rid of. I mean, we're not playing these, like Scotty Miller, 30-some% snaps. We're not playing him.
Hey, how dare you?
Not playing Big Mike Williams, right? I mean, is that not the easiest click off of Mike Williams? You playing Mike Williams?
I will not be playing Big Mike.
And the other thing I did with like Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, I thought I gave him a relatively fine projection. I wasn't getting a lot of them. Like my take on that is I want kickers and defenses over these guys. What's your thoughts on that? Like I don't necessarily want these guys. I know we're going to see a defense or kicker optimal in the flex. Hopefully not the captain, because I'm probably going to be very heavy skill position players. But what are you doing with these scrubs and Van Jefferson and Calvin Austin?
Yeah, I'm basically coming on here just saying jam chalk, but I think if you want to be unique, just don't play kicker in your lineup. I personally think everyone should have at least one kicker in the lineup tonight. You don't have to make the rule on some of our projections, because it just all my builds it automatically.
Do I need to bring up? I mean, there's like a defense or kicker like with these teams, and Greg the Leg. Dude, I'm so mad at my guy Greg the Leg. He grew up 3 blocks from me. Lincoln, Nebraska, went to Pius High School. Absolute stud kicker. Dude, he missed how many field goals? He had 2 bonks last week. I was so tilted. Oh, just absolutely brutal. Let's go to sorry. My take is Wilson over Adams. Kurt, you are Adams over Wilson. We're both under on the Pittsburgh receivers. My reason for being under is I think their best path to success is going to be running the football. And that's what they love to do. They love to run the football. So pretty simple, correct?
I like Calvin Austin too. The gadget plays. We kind of need some salary relief.
I like that. Speaking of gadget plays, my boy Ja'Cory Barney. I know Nebraska sucks and they're terrible, but he's good.
That's a similar role. He's good. Role. Yeah, Barney.
Yeah, that's why I'm bumping him up. I like that call. I'm gonna give him a little more love. There we go. Yeah. Let's go to tight ends. I have a ton of interest in tight ends tonight. I think when you think about a new quarterback coming in, or especially like a veteran like Russell Wilson, Pat Freiermuth, easy target, easy connection, a really, really solid pass catching tight end as well. So I want to be bullish on him. And obviously you can see there, I got him 70% in the flex. I think that might be a little high, but we'll see when we run these final numbers.
I agree. Obviously, I'm very low on the Steelers pass catchers besides Calvin Austin. So that means in return, I'm probably going to have a lot of Freiermuth. I don't really love Najee either. So Freiermuth is going to be my guy. Freiermuth, Warren, Austin. I'm going a lot of the kicker, obviously, Boswell.
So this is a good point. But I think a good case is look at the Texans today and how well they played. And they had like 6 or 7 dudes out on defense. Like they were as hobbled as it could possibly be.
The Bears when they played Jacksonville.
And Kurt, just like I 100% get like the matchup could be a little bit better if injuries and everything, but it's more a bet against Russell Wilson. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. He's like I said, I don't care if he beats me, guys. Like sometimes you don't want to light money on fire, but if I had a good reason for playing Russell Wilson, I would. I don't care. I think it's an anomaly if he comes out and plays well and beats me, and I'll sleep fine. More power to him.
Let's get to the goods, baby. Let's get to the goods.
Oh, yeah.
Kickers and defenses. I mean, it's a kicker and defense slate. It has to be. It has to be. We have to embrace it. We got to embrace the tilt. And there's nothing more tilting than kickers and defenses. So I agree. I mean, Greg the Leg has to have a big night tonight. He missed 2. Oh, I mean, we could be chasing. I could definitely be chasing, but he's a kicker that I obviously respect. I think he bounces back. But the thing with kickers is, man, it is such a mental thing. And if he misses that first one, it could get really, really hairy for him. But what's your thoughts on kickers' defenses? I have them over-projected relative to the base projection that we have. We got them in the set. I don't even know if people can see that. Our RPS projections are like way over there for some reason. So I am bullish on them. I bumped them up a little bit. What's your take? And actually, all, I mean, yeah.
Why do the Steelers receivers get a bump with Russell Wilson? Did you watch him as last year in that same? I mean, it's a Shane Waldron offense, but still, like he looked horrendous. Like, I don't know if it's that big of a bump. Honestly, I mean, obviously,
I mean, I think it eventually could be. We haven't seen the guy in a while. I just think we know the Steelers team. We know they want to run the ball. Yeah, no, I agree with that. He's a good game manager, and what's a game manager going to do? I mean, they're going to run a very simple offense, and I think the Steelers are going to do what they want to do, which is run the football. I mean, they have
it's an Arthur Smith system, guys. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I don't see why they would ever get a boost. It's still an Arthur Smith system. Same as thing. Did Justin Fields really come out and miss that many throws? I don't think so. But anyways, kickers, I love them. I think you gotta love the Steelers D.
He can't be talking about us. We haven't even talked smack.
Talking about King of Smack. I don't know why.
King of Smack.
He's coming.
King of Smack's fine. I like King
of
Smack.
I don't think he said anything bad. He's coming at me.
I mean, we're trying to win together here, guys. So I'm trying to monitor chat and take in some takes. I mean, I like this take right here. We love
Desmond Ritter was also Travis. Desmond Ritter was also 4K or something when he was winning that, not 9K or whatever the hell Russell Wilson is. So yeah, if this was a classic slate and I could play 4K Desmond Ritter, fine. But big difference in Showdown. I don't think Desmond Ritter was ever on a Showdown winning team. And if he was, because he ran like 2 in, which I don't think Russell Wilson can do. What do you mean Sally doesn't? Bro, Travis, if you want to fucking hang your hat on Russell Wilson tonight, you go ahead, buddy. You win all the tournaments today.
I mean, Travis.
Hey, Dave, you look like cute that version of my asshole. All right, sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry. Devon, I'm sorry, my guy. That's actually a compliment.
So if I had that, I don't know how to mute you myself. If I did, I would. I think, all right, so 50% kickers here is kind of egregious, but tonight's game, it might make sense. I'm usually in that like 30 to 40% range, which on most slates is also kind of egregious, but that's the way this year has been going. And the one thing, though, I think of is like Jets defense has to be very popular. They're cheaper. I don't know why they're cheaper. Steelers defense can't be owned at all. So if you're fully into leverage and just taking advantage of variance, which you should do in showdown formats, over projecting the Steelers defense, I think is somewhat interesting. What's your thoughts on that?
I kind of want to don't be nice to Travis right now, but I think he made a good point about how he does the 4-2 with the opposite team. I think despite someone who doesn't like Najee, I think you can do 4 Jets, Steelers D. I think they get a lot of pressure on Rodgers still. I think they cause a lot of havoc. I think they can maybe get a touchdown in there. It's at home. It's a night game. I think you can easily do 4-2 Steelers, and
we'll get into
even the Jets win. Like Steelers D still getting enough points because Austin doesn't do anything, stuff like that.
Let me click the wizard ball here real quick. Hopefully it's finding us the winners. That's what we want. I'll take a look at the our stacks too. Is that what you're talking about? You like the 4-2s, right?
The 4-2 with being 2 Steelers and one of my Steelers being their defense. Like Steelers D, Pat Freiermuth, but the Jets winning the game. I think the Steelers D can put up a decent base score with sacks, interception, turnovers, maybe even a touch, stuff like that.
See, I was trying to help Tom out, and
you over here screaming at us. AP needs to calm down.
I mean, I always talk loud.
You came on here and said Chiefs are the greatest, and you screamed at us for like the first 2 minutes. I was like, whoa.
We could do an hour-long Chiefs show. Just talk about,
Chief stroke. Just call it Chief
How about our guy Snyder's tweet? What was it like? He Yeah, 49ers are starting to come back in that game. And what did he tweet out? Like Mahomes
The
has
interception, the touchdown, no, the interception.
6 touchdowns. And hold on, how do I there we go. I'll ban this.
Wait, what is that's a good topic that Chris brought. What is Wilson's ownership? Don't tell me. Let me work for it over here. Okay, I'm seeing. Yeah,
let's look at our stacks.
38.43. Is that what you're getting for Wilson?
How much?
38.43%.
I think total ownership probably has to be a little higher than that, I would think. But
okay, I always like the wrong number. I don't know what I'm doing. Like
I'm talking that could be right. 45%.
Okay. Gosh, I love the
I think the field is probably underweight on him. Like, I don't know. We haven't seen him in a while. And I like the Jets defense. I think they're a good defense. What did Josh Allen, what did he put up against them last week? I thought that game just played out weird. But Josh Allen's not, we can't even use that as a comp.
13.
He did so much. Think about how much he did it by himself on the ground. You're not going to get that from Russell Wilson. There's no way. What's Russell Wilson's rushing prop? This is why we need Mangone on the show. I don't have these props.
I don't understand what
he knows him.
Does he like Russell just to be different? Because he's going to be owned. So
Travis Mangone, you're welcome to come on the show. We have 15 minutes or so.
I'm all for listening. I'm not going to play him.
I need to hear this take. So if you want to come on, you got the link. You can hop on because until then, I'm not going to be bullish on Russell Wilson. Now look at our top lineup. Steelers defense captain. I don't think I can do that either. Some of these builds are just so crazy. We're going to have to do some fine tuning here. I'm going to scroll and you tell me to stop if you see a build that you like. Brees Hall captain, but it's a 5-1 with the Steelers defense.
That's hilarious. That's basically what I was talking about, kind of.
Oh my gosh. God. They are the Sims are bringing in some very, very interesting lineups. We're gonna have to do this on the fly, though. We're gonna have to navigate these a little bit. I don't necessarily want to eliminate a certain team's 5-1 or 1-5 because my reasoning there on the Jets side is they got a lot of mouths to feed. Now I'm not going to sit here and say the target tree is super defined on the Steelers side. We know George Pitt, at least with Justin Fields, he wanted to go to George Pickens, and we know they want to run the ball, and Jaylen Warren's back. And we know Jaylen Warren and Najee are going to get a lot of runs, so it's somewhat defined. I still believe that on the Jets side, it's going to be Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall. So I want those two guys really featured. I kind of want to be slightly under on your precious Davante Adams, but that's just me. Any other takes there, Kurt?
Why are we not talking about the kicker captains?
I don't think I have any. I don't do that. I don't do a lot of kicker captains. If you go back over the last 3 or 4 years, kicker captains are optimal at a 1.9% rate. It's not
that one Giants-Redskins game.
The one time it happens, but now everyone's doing it, and you can see, and it's going to be a huge chop. It's going to be there's going to be a ton of dupes with them.
You have some really good guys that can put up big scores, isolated scores, too, Adams, Wilson. One guy probably has a big game. So, but
I'm not playing. So I'm gonna start to massage these a little bit. I'm gonna eliminate those Steeler defense captain builds.
Yeah, you
good with that? Let me bring up higher. So my highest captain exposures right now for my 20: Brees Hall, Garrett Wilson, Davante Adams. I don't know how I feel about that. Najee is really gross, really, really, really gross. I think I'd prefer Pat Freiermuth over him, and I don't think I'm going to run any quarterback captains tonight. So I'm only running 20 lineups. Okay, so I like to take more stands. I like to have a more defined captain pool and player pool. If you're running 150, I would definitely embrace the variance of the slate and open up my captain pool. But this is how I'm doing it. Any other takes from you, Kurt? So now look at that, Davante Adams. Do we let it roll?
Yes. Well, I don't know.
It's literally opposite of what I wanted. And so this is all right. So maybe I am incorrect here because what this is assuming is so I have no idea what's going on here because we overprojected Garrett Wilson. Davante Adams is more expensive than Garrett Wilson, and his ownership projection in the captain spot is also slightly higher than Garrett Wilson. So I'm a little confused at why I'm getting more Devontae Adams and Garrett Wilson. But actually, I must have messed up the projection at some point. Maybe when you're yelling at us, Kurt.
Me yelling? That was you.
Or no, I still have him. I'm losing it. All right. So I'm a little confused by that. But talk to me. What's your captain pool tonight, Kurt?
Devontae, Brees, Big Pat.
Big Pat Freiermuth. I like that. I think I want to bump him up just a little bit. Maybe we'll get a little bit more Brees in there as well. So yeah, I'm going heavy on the skill position players. No quarterback captain, no kicker captain, no defense captain. You're going kicker captain though, right?
I'm gonna explore. I just now built it and then I'd like kind of switch things around. And then I just end up doing another Devontae Adams captain. So
we can't do this. We can't have 80% Greg DeLake. As much as I love Greg Zuerlein, I can't.
Every lineup should have one kicker.
Yeah, I mean,
one
that's an interesting rate, but I'm not gonna play him at that high of a clip. So
no. But
I got a cap.
You just even it out. You got Boswell 25%. Just even it out.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping is by putting a cap on Greg Zuerlein, and again, we're doing this on the fly. There's other ways to do this. I got to insert these lineups. This is a really simple way to do it. If you're crunched for time and you want to cap someone, just put a max in for their top end exposure. I think that bumped up. No, Boswell's still at 20%. I think that's fine. We have Steelers. All right, we got to cap Steelers defense just a little bit. Not completely. I think it's interesting. I definitely think it's interesting. Maybe like Rodgers continues to suck, throws a pick six or something like that, or fumbles. Dude, it's so random. Like, think about today. Think about how many random things had. So I like the stand of having a decent amount of Steelers defense along with Jets defense in there as well. Any other final thoughts here? We need a little bit more Boswell. Just do that. We'll run it one more time. Talk to me, Kurt. Any other final thoughts here?
I just went and looked at Tony's core, and I was a little bit surprised. What's funny is that the guy that he captained, I was like, just now fell on the last piece, and I was like, it's a scenario where, kind of like Brian Thomas today with Christian Gonzalez on him. I was like, oh, okay. Well, after like last week, Brian Thomas let everyone down. This will be the game where he goes off, and Brian Thomas went off today, even with the shadow coverage of Christian Gonzalez. I don't want to give that away, but I probably just did give a little bit of it away. There's only like one well-known elite lockdown cornerback in this game, and you'd obviously figure out
what's his. I guess I could pull it up, right? Oh wow, I like that. I'm kind of under on that though.
Yeah, I am, but like I like it more as him in the flex. I'm not really sure about his captain, unless he knows something that Russell Wilson and him have been getting some good rapport.
Yeah, I mean that. No, it's honestly a guy that I'm underweight on, and I'm nervous about being underweight on him. I just, we're gonna sneak in. This will probably give it away. We're gonna sneak in a little more Pickens. We're just way too underweight on him. Does that give it away?
No.
I mean, kind of. All right, so let's start to wrap this up. I got to get my builds in. Kurt, give me kind of your final rundown, your final takes on this slate. Any other bets that you like? How you think the game's going to play out? Who wins, etc. Talk for like 1 or 2 minutes.
I think it's going to be a very grimy game with like a 17-20, but a lot of the stuff coming in the second half after the teams kind of fill each other out. I think the Jets do win, but it's tough because they're in Pittsburgh, and I know they're going to be under pressure. I think maybe the Jets go in at half and figure stuff out, come out, have a big second half. I think Devontae has like 8 catches for like 70-plus yards and a touchdown. I think Garrett Wilson has a couple of the bigger plays. I think he has the bigger plays when they do have time to get stuff, longer development stuff. I think he burns his man. And then Devontae gets a lot of the quick stuff that Wilson's been doing the last 2 weeks. I think that goes to Adams now. And then some of the longer stuff starts going to Wilson. What the biggest question is really, what do you do with Conklin and Lazard? both guys playing in the slot the most, and that's where you can kind of get after the Steelers defense. But man, they're really priced up. So that's a tough decision. And like I've been saying, I think you play a kicker in every build, and then you mess with those defenses as you kind of for those hand builders as you go, just see what defense is making sense with the lineup you're correlating.
When I'm really in a pinch, I just start.
First touchdown bets. We can talk about that.
What's up?
First touchdown.
When I'm really in a pinch, I start just doing quick adjustments like that. 20 lineups. I want a little bit of diversification on the slate. So obviously we're capping certain players. We're bringing up other players. I was way too under on George Pickens. He's their wide receiver number one. Injuries obviously in the secondary, and yeah, if Russell Wilson has anything at all, he's going to be that guy that he goes to. So got to have a little bit of him. And
Calvin Austin first touchdown score. Let's go.
How much? What's the odds?
I just put him in my last lineup. Hold on. I'm not looking at Hard Rock odds, I'll tell you that.
What'd you say it is?
I'm not going to look at the Hard Rock odds, so I got to go over to the book that I'm not even using.
Oh my gosh! All right, so this is something that I'm sure a lot of people probably tilt about, like I do. How often do you get logged out of DraftKings?
Bro, it's 24/7. It's so annoying.
All the time. I hate when it happens on my phone. It's not as bad. But like when you're live doing this on a show, and yeah, we're good now. All right, so Calvin Austin, what were the odds?
It wasn't good on DraftKings, so I'm going to look at a different site. One more. I got to put it up right now.
The only one I liked was Brees Hall. I just think
it was 30 to 1. I kind of wanted to be a little bit higher than that. I'm not really pleased with 30 to 1, to be honest. But that's what it is. Meh.
My final thoughts are, I think, God, I want to be optimistic. I think we see an okay game. It will be fun watching, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. I still think Garrett Wilson gets his. I still think it's going to be kind of a slugfest. It's a must-win game for the Jets. I'm going to say 2017. That's my score prediction.
That's what I said, bro.
You said 2017? Oh,
yes. Who'd you have winning?
2017. Jets. Jets. Jets.
That's exactly what I had. We had the exact same thing. And I had the
I'm going to go 23-20 then. Just to troll
Steelers winning first half, Jets winning the game was my prediction. Steelers win first half, Jets win game.
All right. I like it. All my stuff's in. Let's get out of here, Kurt. So tomorrow we have two games, which I love. Ravens, Tampa Bay. Ravens, Buccaneers, Chargers, Cardinals. All Showdown content will be up. We'll be doing shows throughout the day. 2 playbooks and a main slate playbook for the 2-game slate. NBA starts on Tuesday. That is the NBA starting. Bronny James going to light it up for all of us. Kurt, I know you're excited for that. Kurt, any final words for the people?
No, let's hopefully we get some touchdowns. Hopefully we are wrong on our predictions and we get some surprises. Get some
tutties. I like that.
Please.
All right, everyone. Happy Sunday. Good luck tonight. Hopefully your day wasn't too painful. And let's finish. Let's finish. Let's finish strong. Let's do that. But for Kurt, I'm AP. Good luck tonight in your contest. And as always, run Pier.